good afternoon. Just getting back into my YouTube videos and wanting to share a little bit more about where I've been and what I've been doing. I've been really in the thick of things lately. Like I've been scaling the construction business and getting it to a point where I'm like really content and happy with how things are running. Trialing new people, trialing new things, trialing new methods, learning so much about how to actually run a business and learning a lot about myself. So I felt called to get back in and start sharing about this journey and what I've actually unpacked, because my biggest shifts have come very recently. And it's been like a hard pill to swallow. It's a really hard pill to swallow because for me, my values in business at the core is freedom. And not financial freedom that people talk about. Internal freedom. Internal freedom, internal freedom, internal freedom. I have been building this business for financial freedom. And I had my ass torn into pieces by my mentor because I realized what I was doing, and I realized I'd been planting the wrong seeds for my business, and I'd been focusing on building it for money. Now, I know at my core, at my soul, that's not why I build business now. I love money, right? And I always want money. But for me, building my business, the sole intention is to create freedom in my life. Freedom in my life so I can spend more time with my family, so I can be a better father, be a better dad, the whole shebang. Like, I just want time to myself. I want to feel free. And there's a lot of stuff out there around all this flashy shit, all this like, yeah, make millions of dollars, do this, buy this, buy this, buy this. And it's just like so misaligned to what I am. Like I build my business around culture. I build my business around who I bring in and the clients that I attract. And I wasn't doing that. I was starting to force it. I was starting to force my way to the top. And by forcing my way to the top, I began to attract shit clients. I began to attract people that were really hard to deal with. I was making wrong decisions. Everything was rushed. Everything felt forced. I was spending too much time following up. Blah, 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 blah. And I found myself what felt like back at square one with my business up in the air, like, what the fuck am I doing? Now, along this way, I've had a lot of growth compared to the first time that I built my business. In 2021, I built my business to 1.6, got burnt out, did the whole shebang, just like scaled so quick that I didn't know what I was doing. Anyway, this year I'm on my way to do 2.5, and I've only really been going for 12 months. But the lessons that I've learnt from 2021 have been invaluable, right? About the team that you bring in, about the systems that you're on, about the whole process, right? So everything's been a lot easier. And it's funny, from the outside, people will look at my business and be like, mate, you've got it set up. Like you got it pretty cruisy. Like you've got the team, you do a few sales, and it's just like, yeah. But for me, internally, I wasn't free. Internally, I was stressing about every job, every client. I was stressing about where the boys were going, where this is going, where this is going, where this is going, where this. And instead of having trust in the process, I was stressing about the things that I shouldn't be stressing about. Obviously, like I just said, my team and fires on site, but also like where the money was coming from, where the jobs were coming from, how I was bringing those jobs in. So I had I had a smack to the face of a reality check of realizing that the way that I've been building this business isn't the way that's aligned to me. It isn't internally free because it's relying, there's an attachment to bringing something in. It's like, you get an inquiry, you get a lead, and you start following up, and you're like, yep, what's going on, and I got sold into this method that you need to follow up every day, and you need to like make sure you're on top of it, and just make sure you're present in their mind. When in reality, the way that I've always run business was I let my energy do the talking. I let who I am do the talking, and I attract those people in by just who I am. And then it's like I send off that quote and the job will come. Or it won't. And that's fine too. But the energy of point A to B was getting very fucking messy. Right? So I've had my business flip on its head, and it's just like, okay, cool. Well, like, what's the go here? And the answer is, I took 4 weeks off pretty much. The business was still running itself, and nothing actually changed. So there was nothing actually unfree about the business. It was my attitude towards it. Right? I know so many builders out there that they're control freaks. They're like, I need to know this, 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 I need to know this. And I'm just like, that level of controlling to your staff will never work, for one, because they'll fucking hate you and they'll just talk so much shit about you. And two, it's just not necessary. It's not how I want to live. It's not how I want to run business. And it's not how I want to teach people how to run businesses. You know, for me, my goal in business is to be able to lift my pinky and the business does $3 to $4 million a year. And I'm probably pretty close to doing that. Like I'm relatively close in the space of 12 months of going from working on the tools by myself to, growing a $2.5 million company, and then also just stepping away completely. So the moral of all of this is, the more that you're attached and the more that you're holding on to the outcome, the more problems and stress that you will create. There's so much shit that goes on in the construction industry. There's so much time pressure and this and this and this and this and this and this and this. And it's created such a shit culture that things need to change. And if you want to create a business and you want to do it from a place where you can just be relaxed, you can sip your tea. That's still pretty fucking hot. And you can just cruise. There's ways of doing that, right? And you might think, well, my team won't be happy if I'm not on site. And it's like, well, your team will be happy if you treat them with respect and care and you give them the space that they need to do their thing. Bring in people that you fully trust and then give them that responsibility. Your responsibility lies within bringing in that work for them and then allowing that culture to be so steady and great that your clients are fucking raving about you. You know, I had a client recently, she's just like, Luke, honestly, I've worked in the construction industry a lot, and the way that your team shows up it's just refreshing. It's refreshing. They want to come to work. They're enjoying it. And that's always been my goal, is to, one, my main goal here is to help you build your business, but two, like, the culture at my company is very important, that the people that I bring in, they're here to respect each other and they're here to provide a service. Now, I don't know many other companies that are doing that, right? They're not thinking service first, they're thinking money first, and they're taking shortcuts, and they're trying to rip people off, and they're trying to not... I'm like, I'm happy to lose money if the service is done well. Like, I'm happy to lose $1,000 here or $1,000 here. Obviously, my business is still profiting, but it's like, that stress, like that fixating on numbers and all this sort of shit is what makes business owners pack up shop and fuck off, because they're creating all these fires in their head. Right? People you're getting sold on the financial freedom, right? But it's like, in order to get your business to a point where you're financially free, you need to do this to create that level of freedom. And then once you've created that level of freedom, you're going to be like, oh, well, what's next now? And it's like this, and then you want to expand, and then the stress is always there. Whereas like when you take a step back, right? You take a breath, you look around at what's going on internally. You look at what's going on around in your house, and you go, all right, what's really going on here? What's my desire? Why do I want to build business? You start asking yourself, what are your values? All right, what is your value of business? Is it money? Sure, cool. Is it freedom? Sure, cool. Is it time? Whatever it is, right? Get clear on what that is, and then build your business from there. Because it's like, I've done this, and I did it a fucking week ago after experiencing or doing it for 3 months, is I was forcing my way to the top. I was forcing my business to the top, and it burnt me the fuck out. It burnt me the fuck out. But all it took was for me to realize that and not burn my business to the ground, but just realize, how much do I actually have to be involved in my business right now? And the reality is the only reason that I felt like that was because I had created that stress internally. I had created the need for money to come in, the need for this payment to come in, the need for this. When in fact, if I just took a breath, laid in the sunshine, and took a chill pill, everything was fine. So basically, to wrap this up in a bow, internal freedom is my core driver now, and the way that I've built business can be so much different because of this. Stop chasing financial freedom, stop chasing materialism and the matrix, start living internally, and you watch how relaxed and free you can be. Much love, team. Peace.